In this video, you'll discover a simple and proven client acquisition system to attract qualified leads, fill your calendar, and sign paying clients, even if you're just starting out. Step 1 is to post free content. I can't tell you how few coaches actually do this. Now, you may be seeing, if you're watching my videos, other people sharing content on social media, but the majority of people that want to coach or are just starting out are terrified of sharing a message. Why? Because we're afraid of judgment and rejection and failure. But if you're not communicating a message every single day and every single week on social, then no one knows that you exist. I often say it does not matter how good of a coach you are if not enough people know that you are here. And so because of that, it is critical to post content. Now, I'm not suggesting you just wing it and post content that isn't meaningful. What you need to do is you need to follow these 3 steps of every content post. The first step is the hook. If you can't get somebody's attention, then doesn't matter how good your post is or your video is. Notice in this video that I just recorded that you're watching, I started with a hook. I got your attention so that you could stop scrolling and go, yes, this is for me. So the good news is that whenever you create your content, as you map out your content calendar for the month, whether you're doing posts on LinkedIn, videos here on YouTube, or content on another platform, use AI, use Claude, use ChatGPT, use one of the large language models, the LLMs, to start producing captivating, engaging content that hooks people's attention. Really, really important that you do this, because I've seen a lot of coaches actually build the muscle and the discipline to post, but they start a video like this by introducing themselves. You may know my name because you've watched enough of my content, but if you don't, that's because I'm purposely not introducing myself yet because you don't even care. Let's just get into the meat of the content and teach you something. That's the hook. The second step is to retain. Not only do you need to hook their attention, but you need to get them to actually consume what you're offering. So hook is like, what's a pattern interrupt? What would stop the scroll? And then retaining is, how do you open loop a story? This is a great speaking technique where you do an open loop. You share something that's shocking. You share something that isn't complete yet that gets the viewer to lean in and go, I need to find an answer to this. I need to find out more. What happened, right? That's called retaining. Really important strategy to learn when you're developing and posting content online. The third is to reward. Make sure to actually satisfy the reason that they consumed the content to begin with. Do not do a bait and switch strategy. Don't do some big claim and then share something entirely different in the video or the piece of content, because then you just eroded trust with your audience and you may never get that back again. So the 3 keys to posting free content, this is step number 1 of how to get coaching clients online, is to hook, retain their attention, and reward them for what they're expecting. Hook, retain, and reward. Now, what's the second step? The second step is to give in public and ask in private. A mistake that I made early on was I was desperate. I had just launched my coaching business. I was just let go of a job. I lost my sole source of income. I had to put rent together, all of this stuff, right? So I was in scarcity and I was needy. And so almost every post was like, book a call with me, buy my course, do this, do that. And it was just salesy. It was negative and it was salesy. If instead, and what I do now and what I'd encourage you to do, is to give in public without asking for anything in return. 80% of your content should be free content that you're adding value, asking for nothing in return. Then every now and then, about 20% of the time, you point them to a free resource, whether it's a script, a lead magnet, a checklist, or you invite them to schedule a call. Now, you don't do that on every single post because that also feels needy and feels salesy. But if you're giving in public, and then when you have an email interaction or you have an enrollment call, then you boldly, confidently make the invitation and make the ask. I'm not saying avoid the ask, totally make the ask, but give first. If you're not giving, then you start being viewed as an asshole, and you don't want to be viewed like that online, because then that completely erodes your brand. So give in public and then ask in private. And again, be unapologetic when you ask, right? What's the worst thing that could happen? They say no. Awesome. I would much rather have somebody say no and get to a clear no than let me think about it. Let me, pray about it. Let me come back to you, right? You want to get them to a clear yes or a no. The third key here to getting coaching clients is to use engaging posts for engagement. I call them hand raiser posts. We do this on our social media channels. We do this in our Facebook group. If you want to see these copy and paste social media posts that you can swipe and paste on your own to start getting leads, then just comment playbook below and my team will drop in the link to our social media post playbook. But it's really, really powerful. It's not salesy. Again, all it asks for people to do is to comment below. The idea here is that when you drop a link on social, if you're on LinkedIn, or if you're on Instagram or Facebook, the moment you drop a link that takes people off of that platform, the algorithm notifies it and throttles back the engagement. Why? Because social media wants their customers their viewers on the platform. The longer they can keep people on there in that platform and not leave, the more revenue they generate. And so the moment you drive people off of it, you're going to lose that. And so because of that, instead of asking them to click an external link, which no one will actually see, you instead ask them to direct message you or to comment below. And now what you're doing is you're orchestrating engagement and starting conversations with people. So using hand raiser posts, just comment playbook below if you want my team to send it to you. And then the fourth step is to boldly and confidently and unapologetically, again, invite them to a breakthrough call. A breakthrough call, a discovery call, a strategy session. These are the calls that are required to, number one, make sure that you can actually help this person. Nothing's worse than making an offer to somebody who's not an ideal client, them saying yes, and then you having to revoke that offer, refund their money because they're not a fit. So what we need to do is qualify that this person is somebody who's actually committed enough to work with you and that you're a fit for what they're looking for. Right? We don't want to assume that you're a perfect fit for them or the other way around. So the breakthrough call is designed to build trust, to deliver real, sincere value, like actual value, but also to create commitment to their next step, whether that's with you or without you. Right? Every great coach who does enrollment, who's great at enrollment, is unattached to them becoming a client. If you're attached to it, they're going to feel that energy. They're going to feel that neediness and they're going to shut down. But if instead you are just there to support them in actualizing their vision and their goals and breaking through their challenges, then there's going to be more momentum in them moving through your process. So those are the 4 steps. Really simple, but often overlooked. And so if you want my exact social media post, like I said earlier, to start getting engagement, start filling your calendar with sales calls, then just comment playbook below. And as always, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you never miss a future video. And if you want my step-by-step playbook for installing a lead gen system, this takes what I taught in this video to a whole nother level so that you can scale your business, then just check out my training up here in the corner. It is our free lead generation course for coaches. Check that out now and I'll see you in the next video.